My sisters and brothers, except for those who might live day to day in a very quiet hermitage off the grid, most of us know that we are amidst a very busy campaign season. We see it on television, we read about it in the newspaper, we see it in lawn signs. Indeed, many in this season, these final weeks, are running for many different political offices. In our day and age, I see it as a brutal process so often that one must endure to seek elected office. There is now a great temptation to be brutal to one's opponent, besides on issues. We are also amidst a challenge facing the church leadership of the Catholic Church and others. Pope Francis is accused of not doing enough to address the issue of clerical sexual abuse. And now more and more bishops, even across the world, are being challenged in similar fashion. In their office of church leadership, have they taken up their full responsibility? And what we know is that some of our church leaders are indeed guilty of neglect or cover. So there are many obvious disconnections between the vision of leadership that Jesus represents and the aggressive or poor leadership we so often see day to day. So often we see leaders who are officious, aggressive, unhelpful. Not to mention the great challenges of women's place in leadership in the church of the world that still looms ahead for a new day. And onto this scene comes the word of this Sunday, because the Spirit of God has something to say about leadership and its call. God's expectations for those who would be leaders are made clear in Jesus Christ. And he not only said, but he lived leadership in servanthood. And very clearly, that servanthood is about giving one's life for others. Indeed, even in today's gospel, Jesus says, the one who wishes to be great will become the servant. The one who wishes to be first will be the slave of others. The servant will be required to give her or his life over. Those who are recognized as rulers over the Gentiles lord it over them. Their great ones make their authority felt. But it shall not be so among you. So he says to his disciples, can you drink of the cup that I drink? Can you be baptized when it is called? And it's interesting, the disciples and the crowd become indignant at Jesus' message. They get angry. They're offended. They are incensed. They are put out by his humble reply. How dare you? Who does he think he is? The nerve of that man. And then they killed him for his daring, for his knowing his mission, for his nerve of saying that those who would lead are those who must serve. So, my sisters and brothers, how are we in our call to Christian leadership? Say the leadership of parenting, which many of you have taken up. The best leaders are self-sacrificing in love as they mentor and teach their children the same. Parenting is leading the next generation. Or say in business, the best leaders are concerned about all the facets of of their work. Certainly the customer, the product, and the labor. And the church's teaching is always that we cannot be in business just for profit. Say in politics, which will fill the airwaves for another few weeks, and then afterwards. The best leadership must commit themselves to the common good. If our leaders running for office are not talking about how they will care for the poor and vulnerable, they are not addressing the right issues. And the best political leaders, not only from the Christian perspective, but from our nation's history, must call us to our better natures, to indeed care for one another, again, the poor and the vulnerable, to be generous with our wealth of goods, to be welcoming, to be loving of all of our neighbors. Now, this is a tough time to be in leadership. You'll notice in the news the Pope has been calling over various advisors to try to get ahead of the new day to which church leadership is being called. But therefore, it is also a prime time to be a leader, to stay in our leadership of integrity and compassion and justice. For people of integrity who are willing to be self-sacrificing are really the only way forward in goodness, justice, and the desires of God. But make no mistake, they killed Jesus for his daring. When we preach and live the same gospel to the hardest parts of people's hearts, they will come for us as well. So today's word, while this may be true, serve anyway. Give your life anyway. We all have our roles and our calling to Christian mission, to Christian leadership. Let us take up our role well. But it costs us. This is why we need the bread of life and the blood of Christ. We need this divine sustenance of the Eucharist to carry us through the challenging